Greetings everyone, and thanks for joining us on this paranormal pit stop. Tonight, we'll be exploring a historic furnace placed in Southeastern Berks County out of Elverson, Pennsylvania, that's contained within an 848-acre preservation expanse, showcasing a 19th century American iron plantation, whose operations were based around a charcoal-fired cold blast production system, including a furnace grouping, cast house, charcoal house, ironmaster's house, company store, blacksmith shop, barn, housing, and more, and rumored to harbor the spirits of those who lived and worked within the locale long since deceased. Are you prepared to brave the hauntings of the Hopewell Furnace National Historic Site? Historically, in 1761, one Mark Bird would take over operations of his father William Bird's family ironworks business, and by 1771, the Hopewell furnace was in operation. However, in 1786, unfortunately, and following a series of fires and periodic flooding, Bird was forced to mortgage his properties, resulting in 1788 in Bird's flight to North Carolina, and in the auctioning of the plant to James Old and Cadwallader Morris. Under their leadership, by 1789, the Hopewell furnace, which boasted an annual capacity of 700 tons, was recognized as the second largest of 14 furnaces in Pennsylvania, but unfortunately, it still wasn't seeing adequate profit, and in 1800, the operation was sold once again, this time to Daniel Buckley and his brothers-in-law, Matthew and Thomas Brooke, after which it would remain in family hands for the following 83 years. From the 1820s through 40s, the furnace would welcome a period of continued profits, and once again through the Civil War. However, when other furnaces started utilizing anthracite-fueled steel mills in favor of charcoal-burning furnaces, Hopewell would become obsolete, and on June 15th of 1883, furnace operations would cease, and remaining pig iron stocks were sold off over the following 5 years. In 1935, the federal government would purchase the property. In 1938, the expanse was designated a National Historic Site, and in 1946, 5,000 acres were deeded to the state and added to the recreation area, with the state reserving 848 of said acres for its historic site. Through the 1950s, extensive restoration efforts of Hopewell were started, and by 1952, the furnace, blacksmith shop, water well, blast machinery, barn, tenant housing, and cast house had been fully reconstructed and restored. In the present, the Hopewell Furnace National Historic Site remains open, offering 14 restored structures, 52 features on the list of classified structures, and its sweeping 848 acres, which contain a mess of multi-use trails, wildlife watching opportunities, self-guided tours, interpretive programs, events, and more. Rather classically, paranormal activity experienced today at Hopewell is believed to be a result of its often tragic past. A number of families lived out their entire lives at the furnace and later died on site, and countless fatalities to brutal accidents were documented. Both staff and visitors to the historic Hopewell have reported instances of doors opening and closing on their own, objects sighted moving around inexplicably, and encounters with shadowy figures, sometimes near the furnace itself, and at others spied stalking the living from a distance. The furnace's first owner, Mark Bird, managed his operation with at least 17 enslaved individuals. However, later, as a bit of ironic justice, his furnace was actually utilized on the Underground Railroad and would hire formerly enslaved persons on their ways to more liberated lands, just long enough for them to earn money to survive on. Several have reported encounters with the apparitions of said workers, who appear so solid they've often been mistaken for actors. Also reported across the premises are lights that flick from on to off by themselves, extreme cold spots felt on hot days, and strange gusts of wind or fog that pick up around the area alone. Several informal investigations of Hopewell have yielded high EMF levels, chilling EVPs, orbs in strange forms in photography and video, and accounts of batteries and well-maintenanced equipment dying spontaneously, and disembodied footsteps, laughter, chatter, and crying have been heard emanating from empty spaces, and are usually accompanied by the feelings of being watched or of being followed by something unseen. Lastly, a range of full-bodied entities have been encountered about the historic structures, many who are described as seemingly unaware they're dead. Ghostly figures are often spied peering from windows after close at those passing by, and several manifestations on site have purportedly even interacted or spoken with the living at great lengths, before either vanishing or walking straight through solid walls. Thanks for tuning in for this Paranormal Pit Stop. If you enjoyed our histories and ghost stories, subscribe to our channel, like this upload, and share us everywhere so our upcoming on-site series, Sleepovers, gets the welcome it deserves. Pleasant dreams.